Hello, hello everyone. I am Shelly Moise from Noel's Garden. Hi, thank you guys for joining. I am just going to get set up on Periscope on my other tablet so that I can see comments and things that are being said. See the comments? All right. So again, I am Shelly Moise from Noel's Garden. And thank you all for joining me today. We are going to make a soap called Bedtime Story. So here's the thing with me. I like to name my soaps. And I take inspiration from really from anywhere, but usually from the fragrance. So if I smell a fragrance and it smells sensual, then I kind of want colors that go along with that. And I choose a name that to me matches the feel of the scent and the colors. I just like for everything to match, at least, to match in my mind. So this fragrance is, the actual fragrance is called Room 803. Room like hotel room, Room 803. And this is a fragrance that I am testing for my good friend Naomi Moore at the Chandler's Rose. So she owns the company, the Chandler's Rose, and she makes blends. And lucky for me, I get to test them for her. And this one is, it's from her romance line, and the fragrance is called Room 803. And it's a very romantic fragrance. Oh, it smells awesome. It's sweet. Maybe a little fruity, but I really can't name the fruit. It's just kind of juicy, but not like a little kid kind of fragrance juicy. Really nice, but it is a definitely a romantic fragrance. So a lot of times when I want to choose my name, as funny as this might sound, when I choose a name, I'll find a song that I really like that matches that theme, and I'll name my soap after that song. Or I'll name it after just something that really sticks with me. For instance, I have a soap that is, it's layers, and it goes from different shades of brown into orange. And I started with a fragrance, and for some reason, Coming to America was it was just in my head. That movie was in my head. So I was watching different snippets of that movie, and the part that stuck in my mind was the scene where they're singing "Just Let Your Soul Glow." And they got the drip Jerry curl, and a person is in the background, just let your soul glow. And so that's what I named the soap. The name of the soap is Just Let Your Soul Glow. And actually the name of the soap is Just Let Your Soul Glow, with a whole bunch of O's and U's. And if you watch that portion of the movie, behind the people, the lady and the dude with the jerry curls, is a lot of browns and a lot of oranges, and that's how I got my inspiration for that soap. So a lot of times, if you see like an odd kind of a name, like I have a soap that's different, it's a layer as well, and if it's different shades of purple, and that soap is called Silly and Nettie. So a lot of times when you see my soaps, if you see like an odd kind of name, it's usually something that I was thinking about. It kind of stuck in my head, and that was what I named the soap. Thank you. So this one is called Bedtime Story, and it's from a song by an artist called Boney James. And let me think. The song it's a few years old. But anyway, if you like jazz, look up the song Bedtime Story by the artist Boney James. It's a nice, slow song. So if you're looking for a romantic song, you won't be disappointed with that one. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our Bedtime Story, that soap. I also had an inspiration for colors, but for those of you that know me kind of well, semi-well, you know, colors are my weakness. That is the area in soap that I struggle with. I am a very conservative person. It's, you know, kind of odd with this bright color that I have on, but I'm actually a very conservative person in the way that I dress and in the colors that I wear. And that really translates into my soap and my products, but I want to kind of step out of my comfort zone with that. So the colors for this soap will be, of all things, black. And I have never in 2 years put black in a soap. So the main color for this soap will be black. And then I'm going to use this pink, Mad Oils Flirt. I'm going to try to do that color. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to try to do that color in 2 different colors. That dark pink and then a softer pink. Just a splash of this green, which is called Lauren Green by Mad Oils. Just a little bit of it though. And this color, which is Yellow Mica by Brambleberry. And I want it not quite this harsh, just a soft yellow by Brambleberry. So we're going to see how this goes. And if it goes according to plan, hopefully, then I'll show you the picture that I actually took my inspiration from. But as I'm sitting here thinking, I forgot to grab a mold. So hold on just a second. I'm actually pretty nervous about this. As odd as that sounds, I'm nervous about this soap. And not nervous about making a soap, just nervous because this is so far out of my comfort zone. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I have my hard oils. I'm going to bring this camera down. I have my hard oils measured out and melted already. Let's bring that over. And my hard oils are mango seed butter, coconut oil, and beef tallow. I really, really love beef tallow. If you're a vegan or vegetarian, I'm very sorry, but I love me some beef tallow. So we're going to measure out our canola oil. Gloves. I usually put my gloves on when I start dealing with the lye. And my gloves are big. I need to get some of those gloves that like come right here. I forget what they're called. So that I can grip things. But it's hard for me to handle things. But you know what? You're right. Either way, I need to be wearing my gloves. Let me not make excuses. You're right. I do need to be wearing them. You are absolutely right, and thank you very much for the correction. So let's start with our canola oil, and my canola oil has a slight tear. Yes, I know. All right. And my hard oils that are in here are pretty hot. So I need to make sure that my soft oils, I showed you what I know, but I'm not dealing with the lye. This is just the oils right now. my lye is sitting off to the side cooling. Okay, let's add our castor. And if I miss your comments, I'm really sorry. Yeah, but I should be wearing them. If, for no other reason but for sanitary reasons. Even though, when you're making soap, the lye is going to kill everything. Everything. I mean, it's soap. Yeah, the thinner gloves are a whole lot easier to manage. I just keep forgetting to buy me some. And I thought I wasn't going to have enough olive oil, so I had, another big jug over here, just in case. Okay, so we've got our oils. And I'm going to take the temperature of these oils. Which site, Inez? Did I check out which site? The site for, did I ever? I checked out that site and got half of it built that very night. And then I built the rest of that site the next day. The only thing I'm stuck on is, yes, thank you very, very, very much. The only thing I'm stuck on, I don't know how to do shipping. I don't know how to do shipping, but we'll talk about that because I actually want to talk, not chat over here. I actually want to talk. I need some help with that. Okay, so my oils are at 109, which for me is high. I usually like to soak a little cooler than that. So we're going to set that off to the side, and we're actually, before we set that off to the side, let's finish adding in our additives. I got to come out of these gloves, y'all. This is driving me nuts. Because if you make soap, now, let me be absolutely clear. Because I'm making soap, I feel comfortable taking my gloves off while I'm not dealing with the lye. Yes, my hands are hot. If I were making any other cosmetic, lotion, body butters, well, you don't need a preservative with body butters, but lotion, sugar scrubs, if I were making anything, any cosmetic whatsoever that called for a preservative, I would need to wear my gloves. I would need to just deal with it and wear my gloves and not take my gloves off. It is an absolute must that you protect your product when it is a product that that can go bad. Soap doesn't go bad. The lye is, I hesitate to say the preservative, but the lye actually prevents, it just kills everything. I mean, it's drain cleaner. There's nothing that's going to go on with this. But let's finish adding all of our ingredients into the oils. As I explained yesterday, I add everything to my oils. I don't add anything at trace. So this is sodium lactate. And for my sodium lactate, I usually use 3% of my oils. So let's get that in here. And then in soap, sugars are a wonderful additive. Sugars assist your lather. And for our sugar, we're going to use organic maple syrup, because syrup is a sugar, but it doesn't cause your soap to overheat. And even though that is pretty dark, it has minimal effect on the color of your soap. Unlike honey, which I've used in soap, and molasses, which I've also used in soap. Maple syrup, yes, I've used molasses. Molasses makes your soap extremely dark. Dark. So maple syrup barely discolors at all. So for the most part, I will use that one. Good. Now, as I said in my scope earlier, I intended to use kaolin clay in my soap that I cut earlier today, and I used titanium dioxide, which is just a colorant. Oh yeah, molasses, yes. Molasses really darkens your soap. Let's pull out our teaspoon here. Oh yes. So I had to make double sure that I was not using titanium dioxide, which is just for those of you that don't make soap. Titanium dioxide, what we call TD, is just what you use to make white. That's all. So my soap, the only thing that the TD did to it, even though it was an accident, all it did was mute the colors. It just made my colors a little lighter, but that actually ended up working out for me. I do like oats in my soap as well. And I use these particular oats because they dissolve a little better and they leave the soap feeling, in my opinion, less grainy. I'm going down my list. Sodium lactate, syrup, clay, oats, fragrance. Okay, let's get our fragrance in here. Hi, Pepper Lorana. Yes, Pepper Lorana too. Thank you for joining us. So, ooh, that smells so good. That smells awesome. Yes, you can smell.
Yummy.
Okay, Cam, get back over.
Wow.
She's only interested in this because I'm recording. If I wasn't recording, she wouldn't be interested. Okay, Cam. So before I combine that with the lye, I'm going to take my stick blender to it. Speaking of lye, let me check on that. She needs her camera time. Oh, yes, she does. Yep, that's exactly right. She does. So I'm going to set this off to the side, my scale that is. I'm going to set that off to the side, but we're going to use that scale again later. This is my lye. I wanted to cool my lye down quickly, so I put it in an ice bath. And I wanted to show you guys this ice bath because we talked about it yesterday. All my ice has melted, since it's been sitting in there. But I needed to cool my lye quicker. So what I do is I add my lye to the water, never the other way around. Hi, Jay Farley, thank you for joining. Never the other way around. And I stir my lye until it is completely clear. And remember yesterday I said that the clarity is your visual indicator, but the temperature coming down is another indicator. So once it goes clear, my lye goes clear, and that temperature starts to come down, I feel safe putting it in a lye bath because I know at that point the lye is dissolved. So to cool it quicker, I put it in the ice bath. I put the ice in. I put my cup in so that that's stable. Then I add my ice to the sides, and then carefully I pour my water on the sides. Do it in that order. Don't put the ice in and then put your cup in. I tried that once. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because the solution becomes unstable. All right. So I've got my lye. That should be at a decent temperature. That's cold. That's 64. So I'm going to set that back off to the side because if you do make soap, you know that you want to do all your preparing before. You don't want to fool or mess with anything else once it's time to rock and roll, once you get that lye mix. So we're going to mix our colors. Okay. So every time, yay, colors, I know that's my weakness. So hopefully things will come out as intended. And I do mean every single soap that I have ever made, the colors have not come out as intended. And it's like literally it's been 2 years. Yes, I am. Okay, I am. No, we're not going to do glitter this time because that may be too much oil. Because the base of this soap is going to be black. Isn't that something? Black. A black soap. Anyone that knows me knows I do not do black. Okay. Ooh, y'all, I'm nervous. We got pink. Actually, one of these oils we didn't need, but we may need it later. So I'll keep it out. Where are my, there they are. So, to this one here. Hi, Didi Mocha. Thanks for joining. Thank you for joining. So, we're going to make our pink. That is beautiful. My mom loves this color. She has to, thank you. My mom has to speak tomorrow. She has to get up early at 6 o'clock in the morning and drive to a city that's a few hours away, quite a few. She has to drive to Ypsilanti. She's not gonna scope. My mom ain't gonna scope. I'm gonna try to get her to scope, but that may be a task I need to just give up on. But you never know. You know, you never know. I say that, but you just really never know. My mom is one, she'll surprise you. That she will do. She'll surprise you. And then our green, I still feel like this is a bit too much oil. This is our extra, so if I need some more, I can just get some more. Excuse the reach, sorry. And we're not gonna have very much green in this soap. And that's our color there. Very pretty green. If I wasn't monitoring this on my tablet, I would show you our color inspiration, the palette, the picture that I found. Oh, let's keep that here. We need some yellow, but we only need a little yellow. So we want a soft yellow. Looks iridescent. Yeah, this one is, I like Brambleberry's yellow. I have another yellow by another company. Those are Mad Oils colors. Mad Oils make some fantastic colors. Their colors are always beautiful. I like Brambleberry. I started off with Brambleberry, but with Brambleberry, you have to go on their website. Yeah, with Brambleberry, you got to go on their website and check out and make sure. You got to double check before you use it to make sure that the color is okay. Because some of their colors are only good in melt and pour soap. And this is going to be our extra oil. So we're going to set that off to the side. We have our TD mixed up. Did you cut the soap? I did cut it. I did a really quick scope on it. It's only about 5 minutes long. But if you give me a second, I'll bring it over and show you. That's okay. So that's how it came out. Remember, I actually used 3 colors. I used that coppery. I think my problem with the purple, it says for cold process. Yeah, it might be just for melt and pour. Thank you, Jay Farley. Yeah, so the brown came through well, that copper came through well, but the gold color that I used didn't come through at all. But like I was telling the guys when I cut the soap, as I was cleaning up, I realized that I had intended to pull out kaolin clay, but what I actually pulled out was titanium dioxide, was my white. So it dulled the colors, which is fine. I think that the lighter brown and this softer color here, I think that these colors are great for a tres leche soap. You know, I didn't want very strong colors, but it completely took away the yellow. Okay, So now let's see what temperature. Thank you, Inez. Let's see if these oils came down at all. They feel like they're a little cooler. 97. What temperature do you guys soap at? My mom soaps a little warmer. I think it'll be safe to soap at 97. I'm not doing anything. Oh, y'all, I almost messed up. So, New Moon Black. This is my black. And yes, let's use this extra mica for this extra oil. I knew it was the reason I poured out 4 cups. And this New Moon Black is from a co-op group called Steps, Micas, and More. And again, this is my first time soaping with black. So I'm really not sure how much of this I'm going to need to get this soap to actually turn black and not gray, because I don't want gray, I want black. Even if it means, because these are testers, right? So even if it means that I learned something new about the tolerance of this color, it might not turn black. Oh, really? Okay, well, let me add a little more. Because I know that I was reading yesterday on how difficult it is to achieve an actual black. And probably half of this soap is going to be black. If all turns out right. And then if it actually turns gray, ooh, that is pretty. If it actually turns gray, even a dark gray, yes, it will. But I would be afraid that the molasses would bleed into the other colors. And I definitely don't want that. Okay, so we got plenty of black here. Okay, all right. What temperature are our oils? 95. I think that'll be good. Woo, okay. Let's get that sealed up. Okay, I think we're about ready. So this over here is just our oils and our additives. We're going to blend that up really well. And then I'm going to strain my lye water in here because I added silk to my lye water. Well, let's see. Let's reach over this way. I added silk to my lye water, so I need to strain that. Pardon the noise. And what I'm doing is just blending my clay and my oats because if I blend it here, there's less blending that I'll have to do once I add the lye. And now I'm not going for a super thin trace. I'm not going for that at all. Okay. Let's talk about the plan. The plan is I'm going to use my scale. Once this is all combined, I'm going to pour off 15 ounces of soap in here for my pink. And then out of that 15 ounces, I'm going to pour, once I get that pink, I'm going to pour off 5 ounces into here for my lighter pink. Then I'm going to pour from this one 5 more ounces here for the yellow, 5 more ounces here for the green. And then we're going to mix those 3 colors, the light pink, the yellow, and the green, back into this bowl for an in the pot swirl. We're going to put half of the green, half the black in the mold, pour in the pot swirl colors, and then pour in the rest of the black. Okay? I know that's ambitious, y'all. That's real ambitious, especially for me. That's real ambitious for me. But that's the plan. Good. And again, I'm straining my lye in here because I added silk to my water. And I just want to make sure that there aren't any fibers because I've only used silk twice. This is my second time. So I'm still trying to get comfortable with that additive. And not that there's anything to get comfortable with, you know, you just put it in. You add it to your water before lye. And the lye dissolves it. All right. Pardon the noise. This particular pot, this bowl that I use, is pretty loud in blending because it doesn't have a flat bottom. So again, pardon the noise. I'm going to blend that just a little more. All right, I think we're good. Hi, Sweet Aroma Soaps. Thanks for joining. We are making a soap called Bedtime Story. I am using a sweet, kind of a romantic fragrance that I am testing for my friend Naomi from the Chandler's Rose. And this fragrance is called Room 803. Yes, I'm really lucky to be able to, sorry for the bump, to be able to test these fragrances for her, because it gives me an opportunity to soap more often, which, you know, kind of gives me the opportunity to learn more. Is that a medium trace? This is a light trace. I would consider this a light trace. Or am I still, I'm not in the camera. I would consider this a very light trace, actually. Well, not a super light, but I wouldn't consider that a medium. Yeah, I would call it a light trace. Okie dokie. So, whoa. I'm glad I closed that. So, we're gonna pour off. Did you want it that way? A light trace? Yes, because I still need to get the colors in there. But I'm not gonna pour it all into here at a light trace. Yeah. I've done that before and I muddied all of my colors, so I had to learn that one the hard way. So 15 ounces in here. That's a little over 15, but it'll be okay. 15 in there. And guys, I got a phone call, and the worst part about it was that I don't even know who that was. I need 0.15. I don't even know who that person was. All right, close enough. So that's that. Let's get 5 in here. That kind of threw me off. All right. Where did I find my scale? This scale, I don't remember. That's the green. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Tear. Uh-oh, that was mold. Tear. But you can get, I actually think that I got this at Target. Oh yeah, that's pretty convenient. But it also gets in the way sometimes. Okay, so wait. Let me think. No, that's for our pink. Close. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, I have something going on here. All right. So, all right, y'all. Why did you have to pour off that point? Because I had poured more than I wanted. Not that it mattered. Don't get me wrong. It did not matter at all whatsoever. It's just that I had written out in my notes how I wanted, yeah, it really didn't matter. Boy, you were right about this black. Yeah, I have a certain amount that I want to use, and I didn't want to change that, but it's only because I had it written down a certain way. Like, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so let's add. See, good thing you, yes, exactly. You are definitely right about that, because I needed all of that black. And even with the extra that I added, that's still gray. That's still not black. That is still very gray. But I think that I hope that yellow is bright enough when you add it. Well, I want the yellow to be soft. And when I'm all done with the soap, I'll show you the inspiration for it. The picture that was my inspiration for this design. And you'll see what I mean about the soft yellow, as well as why I had certain amounts that I wanted to use. Okay, so this is gonna have to do with black. Okay, I don't want to play with that too long while the rest of this is getting thick, and it is getting thick. Where's my pink? Here's my pink. It's a yes, it is, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's get that pink in there, see what we get. Yes, we are. And like I was telling the ladies in the beginning, colors are, that's my weak area. That's definitely my, that's my weak area. Okay, so we've got that. We'll never, that's right. We will never know until we try. And now what I'm going to do, because I wanted two pinks. I wanted this color pink, and then I wanted a lighter pink. A lighter shade of this pink. So to that, this is my TD. It's pre-mixed and some oil, a little olive oil. So we're just gonna lighten that a bit. And as y'all can see, part of my problem is that I don't move very fast. I was wondering how you were, yeah, That's part of my problem. I just don't move very fast when I soap. Good, yeah. So we'll lighten that up. I need olive oil that doesn't have a green base. So that lightened up nicely. And that was what I wanted, a nice soft pink. That was actually kind of decent. All right, so now let's get this yellow in here. Be careful with that, because I do want a soft, soft yellow. And I'm gonna add some more. I might, right, hopefully that yellow is gonna hold up. Brambleberry's yellow is a pretty good, strong yellow. So I'm hesitant to really add much more because their yellow has tricked me before. All right, let's add our green. Thank you. You know, I tries. I try. Okay. So now what we're going to do is let's get this out the way. We're gonna do it in the pot. I'm not a soaper, so I'm loving through. Oh, good. But you should start. It's so much fun. It's kind of exhilarating because things really do not go as planned. They really don't. And so you kind of have to improvise and kind of accept the changes. Okay, so let's get our green in here. That's actually more green than my inspiration photo. Yeah, you will love it. You will definitely become addicted to soap making. That's for sure. That's our green. Let's get our yellow in. Let's leave some of that yellow for the top. And funny enough, melt and pour bases. I'm sorry I can't read all of the comments. Okay, now let's give this a couple of swirls around. All right. Get to our black. Now, I'm going to swirl this just a little bit into this black. Just a little bit. And then we're going to finish. Uh-oh. Let's move that out the way. And before I finished with that top, I'm going to swirl this just a little bit again into that pink, but not too much. Not too much. I hope so. I hope so. Hope it don't come. Did the colors get muddy on top, or did it do what you wanted? Well, we're gonna find out when it's time to cut it. We will definitely find out when it's time to cut it. But when I'm done with all of this, I will show you guys the inspiration picture. I was wondering how come you didn't add the colors like you would. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna add them. Yeah, I'll show you the picture. Okay, I think that's all I'm gonna get out of that cup. And I'm actually kind of glad that this is thickened up, because I needed the top thick to do the kind of swirl. Oh, I got to get my money together so I can buy. Yeah, I definitely follow Zakia. Soaping is very individualist, you know, very individual. Everybody has One, they're different recipes, but they're different ways of swirling. That's empty. Oh, yellow. We still got some yellow left. They're different ways of swirling. The different ways that they design. That makes their soap unique to them. Okay. Well, that's because, again, colors are that's a weak area for me. So this was a push out of my comfort zone. Oh, I'm glad that you watched it. Yes, this is definitely a push for me out of my comfort zone. Because anybody that knows me knows I do not do black. Like, I rarely even wear black. Okay, now let me grab a paper towel. Now here is where I actually needed some more mica, because I love me some mica drips. I love my mica drips. I sure am. Oh no, am I going to swirl? I'm going to swirl the top. I sure am going to swirl the top. Where's my pink? Oh man. Sometimes forget that if I want people to support, I have to support. Oh yeah, that's definitely the way that it works. Okay, now I'm going to get a skewer. All right. Let's hope this works the way we want it to. All right. It didn't quite come out the way that I wanted it to, but I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. Oh, you did? Oh. Yeah, it didn't come out the way that I the way that I envisioned it in my head. Now the question is, glitter or no glitter? You like it, Inez? Thank you, honey. I think, I don't know, because I could really see the drops. Oh, well, see, my intention was to, I like for the mica to be strong. I do like that. Yes, that's the intention, for it to be male, for male or female. Yeah, I like for my mica drops, then don't put glitter. Okay. But you do kind of have to get the mica in. I wonder if I should spoon swirl this. I think maybe I should spoon swirl it. Because I can't just leave the mica like this. No, don't spoon swirl it. Not like this, no. Now I can and see, the problem is that this is getting thicker. Did you know that some of the world's most loved food came from? Yeah. I do like. You like it? Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. I wish I had some more pink. That's what I wish. I love that pink. My intention was for the top to be mostly there we go. For the top to be mostly black and pink. That was my intention. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this be. This is what we have. Let me wipe it down. I kind of wish the color was cut through like a marble cake instead of swirl, but it's pretty. Yeah, hold on just a second. Excuse me. Strawberries. Ha! Thank you for joining, strawberries. I actually have some black glitter, but I've never used it, so I don't know what that will look like. So this is what we have for right now. That's what we have. I wish I had had more of that dark pink ready. I don't know. I'm not completely thrilled with it. But we'll see. Thank you, Erica Monique. Thank you very much. We'll see. Okay, so now I'm gonna, thank you, Inez. Thank you. You can make it. So what I'm getting ready to do, Demena, is that how I say that? Thank you, Ann Mangle. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna log off my tablet, and then I'm gonna pull up the picture that was the inspiration for it. This is the inspiration picture. Damiana. Damiana. Okay. Yes, this was the inspiration picture. So now you can understand why I wanted the black to be a dark black, why the pink was that color, and why I had more pink than the rest, why I needed just a very soft yellow, not a strong yellow, and then just a little bit of green, but I ended up using more green than what was used in this picture. That's why I put the black on the bottom, and then I topped it with the black, but I had soap left over. So I changed the very, very top. Yeah, so hopefully when we cut it tomorrow, I'm wondering if I should gel it. Let me get back in here. Yeah, I'm wondering if I should gel this. It'll definitely make, yeah, I'm gonna gel it. Thank you, Erica Monique. I am gonna gel this because it'll make my color stronger. Yes, so it's two ways that soap kind of goes through. Hi, Didi Mocha, thank you for joining us, coming back. It's two ways that soap kind of goes through its process. Hi. For cold process, you can gel your soap or have it ungelled. If the soap gels, it's just part of the saponification process. I'm talking to you, so I need to be looking at you. So part of the saponification process is that your soap gels. Yeah, I think I'm gonna gel it. And when it gels, it heats up and it takes on like a jelly-like type of a texture. But because it heats up, and it heats up all on its own, it's just a part of the soap making process. Because it heats up, it intensifies the colors. It really, it makes your blues bluer, your greens greener. And sometimes actually it can darken a color, but it actually intensifies the color. While let's say I didn't want to gel this, like my soap that I did yesterday, because it had milks in it, and milks heat up. The soap is already going to heat up. That's part of the process. But milks, because of the sugar in them, it intensifies that heat, and sometimes it can have poor results on your soap. So generally, when people make soaps with a lot of milk, they don't gel them. They'll put them in a refrigerator. Some people even put it in a freezer to keep them from gelling. But when you don't gel, you end up with softer colors. So whether a person gels or whether they don't want to gel, it's really up to them. It depends on what they want their soap to do, how they want it to look. Or like I created one soap where I used my spoon, like I did yesterday with the soap, and I kind of spooned the top, but I created these nice high peaks. And then I gelled the soap, and because it heats up, it caused the peaks to kind of settle back in. So that's kind of something that you want to think about too. If you have like a really detailed top that you've made and you've really designed some high peaks, if you gel your soap, you're going to lose those peaks. And it still has a lot of detail, that soap does. A lot of very pretty detail, but it's not as dramatic as it was when I initially made it. So guys, do you all have any more questions for me? This has been the making of, what did we call this? Bedtime story. And if you weren't here in the beginning, this the fragrance that I use is a fragrance that I'm testing for my friend Naomi Moore of the Chandler's Rose. Thank you for those hearts. Thank you very, very much for the hearts. And when I make a soap, like it's a whole theme behind the soap. So for this one, because the fragrance is a romantic smelling fragrance, it's very, it's kind of sweet, but not like overpoweringly sweet. It's just a really, to me, it's kind of a seductive fragrance. So I wanted it to have a seductive name, and I went through my playlist, because there's a whole process to how I name my soaps, and I always name them. And the names always mean something special to me. So I was just kind of thinking about what songs do I like that I find to be seductive. And there is a song that I really like by the jazz artist Boney James. And the song is called Bedtime Story. So if you got some time, look up Boney James's song Bedtime Story. And when you listen to it, then you'll kind of think, okay, I see where she's going with that. So I also, because again, colors are my weakness in soap. That really is. I will swirl and just have a good time. I'll play with ingredients, but colors are the area that I really tend to struggle with. So I also Googled themes. I put in the word seductive and then looked at images. I have heard of him. Oh yeah, Boney James is the bomb. Oh yeah, if you're a jazz person, you're gonna like Boney James. But I Googled seductive, and then I put in, I went to images. And then I just went through the images and looked at the color schemes until I found a color scheme that I liked. And I'll show you that color scheme again. This was the color scheme that I really liked. And I chose the colors in my soap around that scheme. Now, how it's gonna look? Oh, a big jazz fan. Well, it's funny because a few of my soaps are actually named. Hi, X. I always call your name. I always say XO, but it's XZO, XZ0. Thank you for joining. I have another soap called All About You, and just the fragrance. I don't know what it was about the fragrance that reminded me of that song. I think that song is by an artist, Brian Culbertson. I'm pretty sure that's who plays that. Let's see. I know that's got like nothing to do. Yes, and it's off his album called Nice and Slow. But if you listen to that song, All About You, you just kind of think, how in the world would a soap or a fragrance make you think of this song? But there was something about that fragrance that made me think of that song. So that soap is called All About You. That's just kind of how I name my soaps. I take it, I'll smell something, and a lot of times colors will just come to me with that fragrance, or a name will just come to me with that fragrance. And it usually, for me, it usually does start with the fragrance. And then I kind of build around that. I'll build a color scheme. Sometimes I'll have an idea. People don't, yes, the sense of smell is just really, really strong. And you sometimes wonder why you might smell something and have a particular memory with it, but that's because the sense of smell is just, it's so strong. It's a really, really powerful, and it triggers memories, long, way stored back there memories. But that's usually how it works for me. I'll smell something and it'll just remind me of something. And sometimes I'll think on a fragrance days. I'll think on it for days, or I'll think on a combo for days. There's a soap that I want to make, and I'll tell you about how I think on things for days. There's a soap that I want to make in honor of Prince. How long ago did Prince die? And I'm still trying to really put, scent can also be homeopathic. Yeah, yes, it can. It very much can be. But I've really still just been sitting on how I want to execute the look of the soap with the name of it and the scent of it, because it's a song that I really love, and I want how I feel about that song to come through in the detail of the soap. So that's what I mean by I will sometimes really think about things for a while. So the next soap that we're going to make tomorrow, I had initially called it Pass the Peas. If anybody knows that song, Pass the Peas, that's just what I called it. But I'm thinking, and Pass the Peas, I'm not even sure who sings that. That's James Brown, isn't it? James Brown that does Pass the Peas. So I was thinking about naming it that soap, though. I'm gonna do it live. But that soap is really going to be a challenge for me. It's I want to do a gradient, and I've never done a gradient before. So we're gonna do it together. You know, we'll do it together. But I was just thinking yesterday, and I was listening to the song "Keep It Flowing" it's on the album that the Isley Brothers did with R. Kelly. And because it's a gradient, completely very much stepping out of my comfort zone. Because the soap is a gradient, and in my head, I want the soap to flow from a blue to a green to a white. I want it to gradually go from blue to green to white. And I think the name Keep It Flowing goes a little bit better, even though I like my past these, because I like me some James Brown. I think I'm gonna go with Keep It Flowing. So tomorrow, that sounds pretty, thank you. We're gonna see tomorrow. Hopefully it comes out that way. But that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to attempt a gradient soap. So I know it's pretty late for you guys. It's only 6:30 in the evening for me. And my daughter has fallen asleep, so I've had like a wonderful peacefulness, peace and quiet. But I'm gonna get this sprayed with alcohol and get it wrapped up, put it in its box that it goes into, and wrap it and keep it nice and hot. And hopefully it'll gel all the way through. Put it in a garage. Hopefully it'll gel all the way through. But thank you guys for joining me and listening to me rant. Thank you guys for sticking with me and keeping me cool as this. What colors will I use? I'm going to use, hold on, I'll go grab the blue. So the way that you do a gradient, there's a lady on here that I follow, and she follows me as well, but I cannot for the life of me think of her name right now. While we're on the scope, I'm going to be looking her up. Let's find me. And hopefully I can pull up her name. It's not Sabrina, not Bella. Because she doesn't always catch me. Veronica Fole, that's her name, Veronica Fole. And I saw her videos of her doing this gradient. So I'm hoping that I can, maybe she has some videos on YouTube, because I saw her videos here on Periscope. So Veronica Fole Essentials, that's her name, but she is the one that does the gradient, and I'm using her method. So I'm going to start with this color. It's by Mad Oils. It's called Key West Blue. So the soap will be colored pretty heavy with this color, and then you tilt your mold and you pour a couple of lines down, and then so you have one part of this, like divide your soap into 3 parts. You have one part of this, one part of this. This is the same green that we just used. This Lauren Green by Mad Oils. So as you pour a line of blue, you add in a spoon of green and stir that up, and then pour, and then add more green in, stir it up and pour until half of that is gone until all my green is gone. And then at that point, I should be left with about half of my batter, which is now mostly green. So we've started with blue and we've blended it in with the green, and now it's now mostly green. So now that all of my green is poured into the main bowl, when I do my next line, I start adding in the white. And that will now go gradient me into a lighter green until it's all white. At least that's the plan. That's the plan for tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to do it together. And you guys will keep me calm so that I don't panic if something goes wrong. I usually do have a backup plan. And as you guys know, my backup plan is always in the pot swirl. So if I panic and I just throw it all in a pot and swirl it, then, you know, that's my backup. So you guys have a great evening. I'm so glad that you joined me. It's so much more fun when there are people there. Thank you. Who is that? In Mango? I hope I'm saying that right. In Mango. Yeah, it's you guys just don't know. I panic. I have more in the pot swirls upstairs than any other design, because I will panic in a heartbeat, throw it all in a pot and swirl it and throw it in my mold. One, it looks pretty, and the pot swirl is always pretty. But I want to get away from that, because usually you can just kind of take a deep breath and push on. Oh, in an angel. Okay. You can just kind of take a deep breath and push on, and it'll be just fine if you don't panic. So thank you guys again for joining me, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Yay. Have a good night. Bye-bye.